Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tokyo Necro. Last time we ended off at a cliffhanger. We got attacked by Milgram and Pavlov with a fucking laser while we were being taken to the Tokyo Megafloat by the SAD Corp. Yeah, I actually still remember what happened because it was just yesterday since I played this. And like I said, this was supposed to be a rants day, but we ended at such a cliffhanger, there's no way I cannot play this, like, again. There's no fucking way. My curiosity is not able to be contained. My friend is actually also playing this at the same time as me, and I can understand why he said that. Like, he played this only a couple of days ago, and he already went past me and got, like, one of the routes. And I'm like, holy shit, why are you playing, like, so fast? But yeah, now I understand. Then again, he is also, like, only playing this game right now, so he's, like, super focused on it. But yeah, let's continue on where we left off. This is most likely Etika. I push aside whoever it is on top of me and take a deep breath. I'm still bound, so I ended up bouncing all around the damn prisoner transport vehicle. Looks like everyone else had more or less the same experience. The vehicle's interior is a mess. But it looks like so in protected area, and Ryoka and Tokitaka seem fine too. Which means the person who fell into my chest is...
Oi, Kazuma! Kafu o toke! Kafu? Oi, hayaku!
規則違反だ。ここはサットが守る。
Gunshots ring out, followed by the roar of an explosion. One of the armored vehicles that was escorting us must have been taken out. The surviving vehicles must have started returning fire. The sound of gunfire grows more intense. But no one is firing at us. If they wanted to kill us, they could have done it with a single shot of that laser rifle. A glimmer of hesitation runs through Yamanuma's face. Screams of the SAD troops can be heard from outside the vehicle.
仕方ない。ここを脱出。
分断するために罠を仕掛けたんだ。それこそ思うツボだろう。
任務遂行にリスクは必要だ。
Yamanuma's tone is firm. Setting aside his judgment, I can respect his guts. It's Ryoko's job to negotiate at times like these.
サットは確かによく訓練されているわ。でも、対ネクロマンサー戦じゃ素人でしょ。今も明らかに弾薬を消費しすぎている。そうしてここには運よく対リビングデッド戦の専門家がいる。しかも3人も。そっちのリスクを取る気にはなれない？
Kagekatsu quickly comes to a conclusion. With a multi-flick gesture, he undoes our stun cuffs. I keep wanting to say it as stun guns, but I gotta remember it's stun cuffs. Not only are our bodies free, but we can now use our condories too. Son and I take the front, Tokitaka's backup, protecting Ryoko and Yuria. We know our roles without even having to exchange a word. Kazuma and Yamanuma can fend for themselves, I'm sure. Soen silently points to my head. I know. Soen's equipment is loaded on another vehicle, alongside our weapons. It'd be reckless to go out there without proper equipment. We have to count on my X-Brain. It's a prototype model despite its size. It's just about as powerful as a full-face model like Soen's. It works in conjunction with my Condry, so I couldn't use it while the stun cuffs were on, but it's fully usable now. The only problem is whether or not I want to use it. Well, Kiri did just chide me about it earlier today. I guess I'm gonna have a choice, since I am activating the X-Brain. I hate to rely on the old man like this, but I guess I don't have much of a choice. So then I exchange glances and jump out at the count of 3. Oh damn. Whatever happened to Etika's mom too? We still have lots of questions, man. Shuto Expressway has been split clean in two. There's steam spewing out of the cross-sections of the pipes, filling the area with a high-temperature haze. It's hard to move when it's hard to see. We're forced to stop in our tracks. But ghouls don't give a damn about steam. Big and brawny Russian corpses, huh? I bet they're locally sourced from that department store. Individually, they're not that strong, but they're overwhelming in numbers. Textbook Necro attack.
頭を狙うよ
The SAD members are combat specialists. They're skilled all around, and they know how to read a situation. Even in situations where they can't count on backup, they've got the training to compensate. They should be more than a match for these lo-fi living dead. Bang! Pow! Am I supposed to actually read that? 3 rapid-fire shots aimed at the head each. Most of them hit. But in a battle against living dead, there's an ironclad rule of 1 shot, 1 kill. They won't be able to keep up at this rate. It'd be great if we could help out, but...
武器はあの車だ。
Yamanuma points to an armored truck cloaked in billowing steam. I love you, Rabbit Punch, but rushing into that steam's impossible for a fleshy human like me.
カズマ撤退の手はずは
With her trusty tonfas at the ready, Kazuma touches her connery.
日比谷駐屯地のストライダー部隊に応援要請を出してる
This is a new thing. A garrison located in the old Hibiya Park. The park was first used by the military during the Sino-American War, eventually passing hands to the military police. Contains the largest squadron of gray chameleons in all of Tokyo.
10分守れれば勝ちかそんなところだろうな
10 minutes is a damn eternity. I think that's supposed to be An SAD soldier is grabbed by a living death that got through the volley of bullets. Ghouls swarm all at once, moving with enough force to shred their own muscles. You don't have to tell me. I ignore the warning and head to the SAD soldier's rescue. I kick the living dead off of him and push it aside. But as soon as I do so, 2 more latch onto him. Not only do they not feel pain, they don't get tired either. Unarmed combat against the living dead is an exercise in futility. Huh? There's an SAD assault rifle just lying on the ground? Wow, see? You can give some useful advice every now and then. I take the gun, ready it, and pick off the living dead assailants one by one, but... The SAD soldier screams in dying agony as a ghoul bites into his neck. By the time I've defeated all of the enemies in my way, it's too late. Sorry, Johnson. I know. You don't have to tell me. You need all the resources you can get when dealing with the living dead. Every bullet counts. I take the magazine from the corpse and return to the front line. Looks like someone's grabbed a weapon from a fallen soldier too. Ghouls suddenly appear out of the clouds of steam. No time to hesitate. Damn, all those new sprites, and they just die in 1 shot. My X-Brain gives the orders to shoot, so I shoot. Shoot, shoot. Rinse and repeat. One by one, I take down enemies surely and steadily, saving bullets as I try to maintain the front line. But just how long will this situation last? We have no idea how many enemies Milgram has ready. There's still 9 minutes remaining. Can we keep up at this pace? If only we could get our usual weapons hiding behind the steam. My X-Brain points out some bent hot pipes behind me. There are giant pipes running underneath the Shuto Expressway that are close in proximity to the mainline pipes. There should be valves nearby to prevent system-wide pressure loss. The problem is authorization.
山沼バルブ閉められるか
ああ、可能だ。
Yamanuma must have caught on to what I'm getting at, as he readies his gun and starts advancing forward himself. Empire Energy Corp manages the steam circulating through the hot pipes from Tokyo's Central Geothermal Electric Power Plant. You really have to tell me about this now? The nexus of Tokyo's hot pipes, owned and operated by the Energy Empire Corp, utilizes artificial geothermal reservoirs near the central hot zone to send stream. Stream? I think that's actually supposed to be steam throughout Tokyo. I do feel like a lot of the narration in this game feel a bit forced, you know, at times, because they kind of info dump you a bit way too much. Sure, they somewhat try to keep the flow going, but I do still feel like it's like not a natural thing to put into each sentences like this. Management of the terminal ends of the pipes is delegated to local authorities, but major pipes like the main pipes in the old Yamanote line and the big pipes here in the on the Shuto Expressway are handled by EEC themselves. Empire Energy Corp, I assume? The SAD seems to have quite a bit of authority, so they should be able to mess with them.
OK それじゃ行こうぜ山沼そうここは頼んだぞ
了解
Soen's always calm and collected. It's thanks to him that I can go hog wild. I entrust the front line to him and rush toward the expressway hot pipes billowing with steam. That was actually a pretty short, segment. I mean, it's still not a good, part to end off the episode. But that was only 10 minutes, surprisingly. I watch Etika run off toward the hot pipes as I check the assault rifle's remaining ammo. Usually, my X-Brain handles tasks like this. If this were one of my re-eliminators, I'd be able to tell when I'm running low based on weight alone. CQ AMA requires an X-Brain and re-eliminators. What can I do without either of those? I don't know, but there's no time for fear or hesitation. Focus on staying true to your foundations and use everything at your disposal. Final Living Dead. Aim at its head, pull the trigger, now it's re-dead. Final Living Dead. Aim at its head, pull the trigger, now it's re-dead. I get it, Soen. Final Living Dead. Aim at its head, pull the trigger, now it's re-dead. I repeat the process with machine-like precision. Ghouls may have low intelligence, but they can handle small arms. Milgram could have had them rush us equipped with cheap guns, but he's too smart for that. He knows that sending an armed Living Dead would just be handing us a free supply of weaponry. The undead army facing us is unarmed. It's a war of attrition. Final Living Dead. Aim it at its head, pull the trigger, now it's re-dead. Soen, I get it! I get it, Soen! Another SAD soldier falls. 5 remain. 7.5 minutes on the clock. The enemy shows no sign of slowing down. The poor visibility only makes the battle more difficult. Just how long are they going to keep coming at us like this?
適当な気休めはいらないぞ
服装から見てリビングデッドはおそらく旧安越本店の客を利用しているものと推測される昨年の平均入場者数のデータは公表されている曜日の傾斜をつけて総従業員数を加えればおおよその数は推定可能だ今のペースならば守りきれる
このままハイファイが現れない確率は
神のみぞ知る
5 minutes remain. Well, that was a fast 2.5 minutes. Out of ammo, I rush over to the SAD soldier who just fell. I snatch his magazine and reload. Damn it, Soen! They're really like reusing this line. I'm not saying that shit anymore. That's like the 9th time Soen said the same shit. Maybe like the 12th time actually. Your average reaction speed's down 2% as of late. Tokitaka's words echo in my head. My reaction speed's so sluggish even I can feel it. The living dead are getting a step closer to me than usual before I kill them. I analyze the situation. Yeah, 2% might not seem much, but if you do something based on reflex, etc., it's actually very noticeable. Are my adult reactions the result of stress and fear? A lack of sleep, poor physical condition. Could be using a different weapon result in this much of a difference? If I had my re-eliminators and X-Brain right now. As if in response to that thought, my vision clears. Etika bellows out from atop the hot pipes next to the valve. The steam stops pouring out of the severed pipes, revealing the toppled armored truck on the other side. I dash towards it without a moment of hesitation. I pass over the dead bodies of SAD soldiers who passed out in the heat, and the doubly dead bodies of re-killed living dead. Damn, we got lasered. I feel an unfamiliar sensation in my chest. And a moment later, I feel the impact. That's definitely Pavlov, right? A hole's been gouged into my heart. Wow, so that CG was actually sewn. I thought that was Etika. I can't believe what I'm seeing. A huge hole is gouged into Son's chest, right in front of my eyes. I run to him. That beam of light pierced straight through his chest, reaching all the way to the asphalt. I know all too well what this means, but I keep running. Nagaoka Son was a dumbass, a weirdo, an emotionless robot, an eccentric CQAMA genius without any hobbies. But most of all, he was my partner. I never imagined that he'd be taken out like this. No, what's wrong with me? There's no way Son's going down this easily. That's what my instincts tell me. I come to my senses when I hear Ryoko's voice. The enemy's still there. Yeah, that guy, Pavlov. A giant of a man taking aim from atop the roof. With an infantry-use high-powered laser slung across his shoulder. Damn, that's a fucking huge weapon. The US Army experimented with it in the Sino-American War, but it was written off as unwieldy and ineffective. Its unique appearance earned it the nickname Sunfish. A high-powered portable laser, considered for military use by America in the Sino-American War, but deemed too unwieldy to be effective in combat situations. The name Sunfish comes from its distinctive appearance. I guess it does look like a sunfish. Its sights are fixed on me. There's nowhere to hide, and I won't have time to dodge the laser once it's fired. I don't even have enough time to reach Son. I can feel death approaching at light speed. The beam fires. I feel a faint warmth on my chest, but that's about it. Steam spews out from the hot pipes, even though we just closed the valve. If Yamanuma hadn't reopened the valve, I would have died helplessly. But how does he expect me to remain calm? Hot steam engulfs Son's collapsed body as it lies on the ground. Even if he's still alive, the heat will... I shoot. Man, am I actually in the bad ending? Shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot some more. Shoot, 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 shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot away. We're not done yet. Die, die, die. Die, die, die some more. Drop dead again, you undead motherfuckers. I can't keep it up forever. I run out of bullets. They grab me and weigh down my legs. They pull on my head and I lose my balance. The advancing horde of living dead shows no sign of stopping. I can't move my legs freely. I have no idea what's going on anymore. My actions were suicidal, plain and simple. It was like I leapt to my death. No, I did leap to my death. I've lost all regard for my own life. After all, someone's already... Kazuma dispatches the throng of living dead on top of me one by one. She works with living dead stalkers, so she's used to dealing with living dead, but... My response is more reflexive than anything, but my own words are what pull me back from the brink. 4.5 minutes left. Wow, that was such a long 30 seconds. If we can just hold out that long. Suddenly, everything falls silent. The ground shakes, and from beyond the steamy haze echo mechanical footsteps. Gradually, the foe reveals itself. Wowza, that's a fucking ridiculous looking hi-fi. A giant six-legged war machine lurches forth, clambering over debris. I think that's modeled after a pipe runner, holy shit. On its back is a fully automatic 40mm grenade launcher. Underneath are 4 30mm autocannons. It resembles an armored pipe runner in form, but it was created using a human corpse. A hi-fi living dead of roughly 4 meters in height, created by combining corpses with heavy armor. They require 6 legs to support their massive bulk. As such, they resemble multi-legged tanks more than living dead. Their primary weapons are a set of 4 caseless round 30 caliber autocannons and a fully automatic, there we go, 40 caliber grenade launcher. But some of them also carry portable railguns. The tank class starts firing its autocannons with a thunderous roar. We dodge a storm of debris, hiding ourselves beneath an overhead structure. A bullet whizzes past my ear, burying itself in the concrete. The damn thing keeps shooting despite our cover. It's like it's trying to break down the whole wall. I find the corpse of an SAD soldier and retrieve his magazine, but it's out of bullets. As soon as the gunfire stops, a female soldier hefts a grenade launcher and fires. That was a definite hit, but the tank class doesn't budge. As if to return the favor, the tank class lobs a few shots of its own from the 40mm grenade launcher in its back. A direct hit, followed by an explosion. The woman's body is torn apart before she even has a chance to scream. Blood and viscera rain down, but we can't afford to be intimidated. I look around, but can't find any weapons within reach. What I do manage to find is the armored truck. I'll flip the truck back upright, take off at full speed, and ram straight into... Okay, that's a negative. Getting the truck upright would be an endeavor in and of itself, and the tank class is too fast for me to have much of a chance of a successful suicide attack. It's not the smartest plan, I know that. But do we have any other choice? Well, do we, X-Brain? I don't think we can survive 4.5 minutes like this. Kazuma is next to me, looking at me with her eyes full of dread. She's clearly terrified. She looks like she could piss her pants any second now. Our goal is to come home alive. Mitsumi, what the fuck are you? I hold myself back from falling into despair. A suicide attack? That's a coward's way out. Footsteps approach. 3 minutes remain. Those 3 minutes feel like an eternity. I'm screaming at myself internally, trying desperately not to lose hope. Don't give up. There's gotta be something you can do. Making the impossible possible. That's the Kibanohara Etika way. I can't believe my eyes. Down from the heavens descends Rabbit Punch. Someone must have definitely given this to us. Who is it? No, not just Rabbit Punch. Tokitaka Sugasawara TFD-22. They're supposed to still be inside that truck. Logic would say that it's impossible. But well, making the impossible possible, that's our way. I knew there was no way he'd drop dead in a place like this. How is he still alive after being shot? Holy shit. Pretty clutch zone, but I gotta know how you're still alive, man. You got shot in the heart. Are you actually a living dead? Obeying my X-Brain's instructions brings me joy. In such close quarters, the tank class living dead's weaponry is clearly excessive. My 6-legged enemy is no ordinary opponent. It will certainly be difficult to face off against its quadruple machine gun barrage. But I'm a master of close quarters armed martial arts. My X-Brain swiftly predicts the enemy's movements. It tells me the most effective actions to take, and I take them. I'm like a different person from who I was minutes ago when I didn't have my weapons in hand. At times, I hide myself in the mist to toy with my opponent. It's hot enough to burn my skin, but I don't care right now. The enemy fires grenades at random, unable to track me. I hide behind a toppled truck and let the shrapnel pass over me. So far, so good. The passage of time should work to our advantage. My conry vibrates as if on cue. Somehow, yes, Son. The chances that Son is actually a living dead is getting quite high, since he did get shot in the heart. And there's no way that Pavlov missed, right? No, you can't tell me Pavlov missed. My X-Brain sends her the strategy. Etika agrees to go along with it. Ethica is in high spirits. She probably thought I was dead. I need to explain everything later. Now! The barrage of grenades ceases. The tank class Living Dead's footsteps start echoing again as it heads toward the car where Iria and the others are hiding. It's trying to lure me out, I know. But I have no choice but to take the bait. As soon as I reveal myself, the tank class fires 2 of its autocannons at me. I narrowly dodge and fire back. Obviously, my re-eliminators are unable to penetrate the tank class Living Dead's armor. I'll need a specialty bullet. I do everything I can to buy time as I watch the timer tick down. I close the distance between us, moving in aggressively. When the enemy moves its turret at a 45-degree angle, if there is a 10-meter distance between us, I'll have to move more than 10 meters to the side in order to escape its range. If there's a 1-meter distance between us, I only have to move 1 meter. Don't fear. Draw near. The numbers won't betray you. That's a doctrine of Tokitaka, a sniper who aims at enemies from over a kilometer away. I draw near without fear. My X-Brain has already gotten a handle on my opponent's movement patterns. The battle algorithms of the Living Dead are far more simple than those of a human. I dodge by a hair's breadth. And successfully fire a few bullets into its face. The hollow point bullets I'm using are meant for use against lo-fis, and won't be able to penetrate through its brain. But they should be plenty to attract its attention. I can lure it away from Iria, Ryoko, and Ethica. We dance atop the Nihonbashi River as the MPP's timer continues to tick down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I leap into the air, kick off the tank class's back, and land on the opposite side as I repeat my usual routine. I press the magazine catch on my gun. I pull back the slide and set it. I insert the bullet into the chamber and press the slide stop. It all happens in 0.9 seconds. I aim at the tank class Living Dead's face at point blank range, and pull the trigger. The bullet hits the tank class in the face and shatters without penetrating the armor. The contents of the bullet scatter with a flash of light. It's a flash bullet with nano chaff. At this size, the bullet has a narrow spread and limited effect, but it's enough to blind the foe temporarily. Ethica hurls 2 metal lumps. The cases tumble onto the asphalt and slide directly underneath the tank class Living Dead. And aiming at them is Tokitaka with his anti-material rifle. His shot cuts through the chaos of the battlefield. The armor-piercing 20mm round comes flying in with a shockwave, striking one of the fuel tanks Ethica cut out of a compressed air car with her chainsaw. Okay, so it was like some sort of gasoline. I was wondering like if that was some sort of gasoline when someone was sending the plan to Ethica. There was like an icon like that looks like a gasoline. A series of explosions rocks the bridge, knocking the 50+ ton tank class Living Dead off balance. The explosions from the 60 megapascal compressed air tanks are enough to blow a hole in the tank class's armored abdomen. A literal breakthrough. Ethica rushes in with a war cry, sliding her chainsaw into the open wound on the tank class's gut. With a fierce jerk, she tears through its armor diagonally. While the surface of the armor may be resistant to impact, tearing it apart from the seams proves simple. Ethica extends the fissure towards the tank class's face as if cutting a carapace with scissors. I fired bullets into the fissure as well. Is there only one of these things? The tank class Living Dead's giant body quivers until it finally stops moving entirely. Silence descends on the area. We bump weapons. Ethica's satisfied smile leaves me at a loss for how to respond. How do I begin?
っぱりお前らすげえな。今さら気づいたのか？いや、まあそりゃ知ってたけどさ。でもまさかあんなに強いなんて。
Did they never, like, you know, like, take a look at what we were doing with, like, cameras and shit? What the fuck? You can't be this ignorant. Right as she's talking, my X-brain rings an alert. The mist begins to clear up. I turn around to see a pipe runner shutting a valve. The maintenance program detected an anomaly in the hot pipes and directed the pipe runner to stop the steam from leaking. I quickly shift my line of sight. With the obstructive steam out of the way, I can clearly see the giant man holding the laser rifle on top of the Yatsukoshi building. We have nowhere to run, and even if we had somewhere to hide, it's not like it provides any defense. That laser beam cleaved the Shudo Expressway cleanly in two. Even so, I start running, acting as a decoy. The laser hits me in the chest again. I barely feel the heat. Is it low on power?
頼んだぞ。
When I hear Yamanuma's voice through the line, I quickly catch on. A laser with that sort of output can't possibly store all of that electrical power internally. They must be using power from the old Yatsukoshi building. And the building is powered by the hot pipes. Yamanuma knows the locations of the shut-off valves. The giant holding the sunfish seems confused when it won't power up. That moment of confusion proves fatal. With a well-aimed shot of the Ogasawara TFD-20, the giant's head is blown clean off. Is that really the end for him? That can't be! His body is thrown into the air and falls to the ground.
Nice, Megane!
This is his first appearance meeting with us! He's a jobber?
アンチマテリアルライフルの恨みだ。
Tokitaka's voice is trembling with rage, probably out of frustration that his trusty firearm got tossed around everywhere. He treasures that rifle more than his life.
ミルグラムは？
見当たらない。
探しに行く。
やめましょう。ミルグラムは準備しているはずよ。
This was a trap set beforehand, so we should expect that he has a few contingency plans in place. It would be dangerous to chase after him. Our top priority is to protect the area. The thought of her face makes my heart feel heavy. My conry vibrates, notifying us that backup has arrived. We hear Major Asu's voice as the sound of rotor blades approaches and a vulture descends from the sky. You got a lot of explaining to do, Son. Kazuma is busy running on-site inspection. Kiri escorts us onto the military police gunship in her place.
キリネ、なんでここに？まっすぐ家に帰ってって。
帰ったけど、コンスーさんから連絡があったの。
ああ。
We got ambushed in front of snowbound Nirvana. Sue must have noticed that something was up and asked Kiri for help. Oh, did we actually got ambushed there? I thought we were at the agency, okay. After the surviving SAD members are boarded, the gunship takes off.
東京メガフロートへ。
でも、
緊急事態だ。
Normally, there are strict requirements that must be cleared in order to bring people from outside into the Tokyo Megafloat. Their process is far more stringent than the Tokyo immigration inspection. Due to the block on information traveling in and out, ordinary citizens like us can barely even imagine what it must be like inside the Megafloat. My eyes fall on Iria. Who exactly is she, to be invited into the Tokyo Megafloat like this? She fell unconscious during Subcon's rampage and still hasn't woken up. She is currently stirring in her sleep as Ryoko holds her. Yamanuma is tending to his subordinate's wounds, with Kiri helping him. Tokitaka is completely engrossed in servicing his Ogasawara TFD-20 after all the tossing and tumbling it went through during the battle. Soen and I are left without much to do. Fortunately, we're not injured. I guess we might as well chat.
Thank you, Soen. 助かったぜ。
I guess this is how, you know, like battles are usually happening with these two. They don't get fucked over with my choices. I still think that my choices, if I were to like reverse the choice, I think I could have saved Both Ethica and Son.
それはお互い様だ。
まあね。でもさ、よく無事だったよな。お前が頑丈だってのは知ってたけどさ、今回ばかりは肝が冷えたぜ。
死んでいなかったら危なかったね。
It would have been over if I weren't dead? What?
だよな。死んでなかったら。
Yeah, I guess he's a living dead, right? Wait a sec.
死んでなかったらって？
ほら。
Someone grabs my finger and pushes it against his chest. His synthetic spider silk in their shirt is designed for combat. It can stop bleeding and automatically repair minor damage to itself. There's a dent in the center of his chest. Thanks to the elasticity of the material, my fingers sink all the way into this cavity where his heart should be. He has no heart. Soen has no cybernetics. He's almost 100% a living flesh and blood human. Sure, he may act emotionless sometimes, but that doesn't mean he can literally walk around without a heart. Unless, of course, he's a living dead. Man, none of this feels real. But somehow, my head's incredibly calm as I stare at the truth being laid out in front of me.
いつからだ？
多分池袋 CPC の後だと思う。
That makes sense. That does make sense. So we're Milgram's hi-fi. Huh. No. If it wasn't Milgram who did this to us, it's someone in the military police. A terrifying answer. Milgram stabbed through Soen's heart during their battle at the Ikebukuro CPC. The two of us were hospitalized and narrowly escaped death. Or so we thought. The next day, we were up and about, even able to walk the streets like normal, to the surprise of Ryoko and the others. But if Soen was already a living dead at that point... My thoughts are interrupted by a voice coming from Soen's lap. I'm trying to think. Has Ethica actually done any H scene after the Ikebukuro CPC? No. The only H scene that we saw right after that was actually Tokitaka. Remember, living dead don't feel sex drive. But Ethica's... like, her narration is the same, right? She still feels something towards Kiri. And when she meets like a hot girl, I think she wants to bang her, right? But she never did. Huh. Iria looks up at Soen's face and smiles, still half asleep. Soen is clearly unsure how to react to this sudden display of utter happiness. It hurts me to see him like this. I can't bear to watch, so I lend a helping hand. Soen was able to open up to me without hesitation, but now he's struggling to find the right words to broach this subject with Iria. She did just wake up. I'll steer the conversation for a bit.
ここは？軍警察のガンシップ。今東京湾の上空だよ。ガンシップ？
I don't blame her for being confused. She lost consciousness during Subcon's rampage and was asleep this whole time. I give her a short summary of what happened while she was out cold. Once Subcon's rampage subsided, we were suddenly arrested by the SAD, and while they were taking us away, we got attacked by Milgram. I leave out the part that's about Soen getting shot through the heart, though.
それじゃあ、私これから東京メガフロートに行くの？
そういうことになるな。
そっか。
Iria looks down. The research conducted at the Ikebukuro CPC was financed by Empire Energy Corp, which means they're probably the ones who have the key to Iria's memory. Her goal is right in front of her, and yet she has a sullen look on her face. I whisper to Soen.
Oh.
He gives a weak response. Ultimately, he doesn't say anything. Iria too remains silent. I watch as she projects the tone graph from her Conry and stares at it, not saying a word. Oops. God, this sucks. I think that Etika might be living dead too, but I guess she hasn't realized it. I guess we'll see. I finally spot a speck of light below us. It's the Tokyo Megafloat. Surrounded by water and enveloped in the incessantly falling snow, the massive island city is lit up like an oversized star. The place gives off a distinctly different impression now that I'm finally seeing it from up close. It's a lone bastion of a construct, flanked by the raging waves of the ocean. The slightly uneven outer rim reminds me of flower petals. Enclosed in a dome-like artificial membrane, the city is illuminated by faint beams of light that shimmer with all the colors of the rainbow. I feel like Alice down the rabbit hole. It looks beautiful from outside, as the gunship begins its gradual descent into the megafloat. My vision gets filled by a slew of buildings as far as the eye can see. Their designs are varied and diverse, almost as if each structure was trying to compete for the viewer's attention. Rather than a regular city, what I'm looking at feels more like a grand conglomeration of every architecture style known throughout history. Among the buildings, each employing bold curves and mostly white coloring, I see not a single hot pipe. It's hard to believe I'm still in the same world that Tokyo exists in. Rather than frustration, the first emotion to grab hold of me is silent astonishment.
もしかしてこれ全部スマートマテリアルなのか?
This whole thing kind of reminds me of Digital Devil Saga in a way. I feel like this is like everything is digital. You know, it's not real. Like we went into a digital world.
進化したスマートマテリアル、リブマテリアルだ。
A new type of smart material developed by Empire Energy Corp, used in construction of the Tokyo Megafloat.
リブ?
スマートマテリアルのように自由に形を変化させられるだけではない。リブマテリアルは海水を循環させることで自己増殖の材料と水素を取り出すことができる。
The fuck?
エネルギーを生み出し自己増殖する夢の素材だ。これがあれば人類は地熱への依存を断ち切れる。
How do you make that?
それが東京リバースプロジェクト?
まあ、そのようなものだ。
I don't like how vague his answer is. But man, live material, huh? Well, I guess live material. The fact I'm here right now must mean fate has a cruel sense of humor. Why? The gunship slowly sets down in the central area of the megafloat. We've arrived at the Empire Energy Corp HQ. Yeah, this is reminding me of like Shin Megami Tensei shit, man. It looks significantly more impressive than in the commercials, I have to say. As I hop off the gunship, a security robot painted in company colors approaches to check my weapons. Energy elites sicken me, but I've got no intentions of going head-to-head against EEC right here and now, so I comply. The megafloat supposedly got enough firepower to go toe-to-toe with the military police, SAD, Striders, humanoid operating machines, all the other state-of-the-art equipment. Yeah, I can believe it. And supporting all of this is the AAS, or Advanced Aegis System, Tokyo Megafloat's impenetrable shield. An act of aggression here would be like signing your own death warrant.
私たちもですか?
The military police and Empire Energy Corp have a complex relationship. The city of Tokyo is the stage for a chaotic power struggle between such players as the military police, the Tokyo government, the ex-US Army, the Chinese Mafia, the Russian government, the Malacca Gang, and so forth. The military police pride themselves on maintaining public order in this volatile environment. But that's only thanks to the instructions given by Empire Energy Corp.
わかりました。
I feel like each route is probably gonna be delving deeper into all those factions, right? We still have no idea about the Malacca Gang and the Russian... Like, the Russian Mafia. Oh, Chinese Mafia. And Russian government. We know a lot about the military police and, right now, the Tokyo Megafloat. We also don't know anything about the ex-US Army. Kiri concedes to the silent security robot as it gestures once again for them to submit their weapons. Her brow is furrowed, her expression bitter. Kiri's clearly worked herself up over the situation. I'm surprised to see that there's a cylindrical water tank right smack dab in the middle of the entrance lobby. The glowing green liquid inside it illuminates the tank's surroundings.
でけえ水槽カニでも買うのか？
ここが東京メガフロートの心臓部だ。
Yamanuma says without so much as a smile.
リブマテリアル内のフレキシブルベインを通じて海水が流れる。流れ出したルシフェリンが発光し、メガフロート内の照明の役割を担っている。
You basically said a lot of shit that I don't understand, Yamanuma, but okay. Transmission tubes running through the walls of the Tokyo Megafloat. Extract hydrogen from seawater, providing the Megafloat with energy. Glow green due to luciferin. Is luciferin an actual thing? I've never heard of it. I've heard of luminescence. I see. The whole interior seemed pretty bright, so it's thanks to this liquid circulating, huh?
他にもメガフロート内の運搬輸送を担っている。
運搬？
When I ask for clarification, a hole opens up in the life material pillar. On the other side is a giant capsule that can fit about a dozen people, coated in a hard artificial membrane. So this is like an elevator. I guess that's a lot easier to understand. We board the artificial membrane and head to the top floor through the flexible vein. Constructed from collagen, laminins, and nitrogens. What the fuck are those two? Resilient and see-through, resistant to adhesion, and exhibits speedy regrowth of tissue. It's like we're floating in a bubble. Pretty weird. Oh, now I get it. I was trying to figure out what this reminded me of. It's Midnight Shores. The lighting in it is similar to the lighting here. That's true? Come to think of it, wasn't the roof of the Ikebukuro CPC pretty similar too? Iria brings up the tone graph with her Conry and starts staring at it again.
ねえ、大丈夫？
She must be anxious. I guess she is about to come face to face with her past. I place a hand on Iria's shoulder.
安心しなって。私たちがちゃんとイリアちゃんを守るから。なあ、そう。おい、そう。
なんだ？
いつまでぼーっとしてんだよ。
Are you serious? I can't help but give him a little kick.
私たちは自分たちの仕事を果たす。そうだろう。
ああ、そうだな。
Soen sounds like he's got his head in the clouds. Come on, man. Get it together. See, look. You've got Iria looking all worried, too.
お前たちはここで待っている。
わかりました。
Kiri begrudgingly nods. She's the kindest person I know, but also the most dedicated to her job.
エチカちゃん、気をつけてね。
わかってるって。どーんと任せて。
The one who sent Kiri was Major General Kibanohara, my old man. The old man cares for Kiri in the same way she cares for him. If she's been given permission to be here, then he must have decided that there's little chance of the ECC causing us harm. That, at least, is a relief. But I want a detailed explanation as to why they determined it necessary to drag us over here so forcefully. I stride into the room intending to assert myself, but we're greeted by someone quite unexpected, and that all goes out the window. I mean, who did you expect? Of course it's gonna be Sophia, right?
東京メガフロートへようこそ。リビングデッドストーカー。
The true ruler of Tokyo is not the commander of the military police, nor the governor, or even the prime minister. It's the woman standing before us right now.
帝国エネルギー社 CEO ソフィア河原崎だ。
I just realized that you're wearing some fishnets there, Sophia. Pretty interesting choice of clothing. In person, she commands an even more powerful presence than during her TV appearances.
座りなさい。
Detecting the arrival of new guests, a chunk of gelatinous-like material rises from the floor and forms a set of chairs for us. That in itself is reminiscent of how smart material works as well. But these seats actually get finely customized to fit our specific body types. A little too highfalutin for my tastes, personally. What is that word, Ethica? Still, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna sit down. Don't look a gift chair in the mouth and all that jazz.
宝行イリア、よくここまで来てくれた。君のおかげで東京リバースプロジェクトは飛躍的に進むだろう。
She looks fairly happy.
ちょっと待った。
I interrupt before Iria can say anything.
私たちは好きでここにやってきたわけじゃない。それにイリアちゃんが協力を決めたわけでもないっての。
The next person to speak up is Son, who's been staying silent until now.
池袋 CPC で具体的に何をしようとしていたのかは知らない。でもあなたたちは少なくない子供を被験体として扱った。正直言って僕たちはあなたたちのやり方を快く思っていない。
Nice one. Go tell her, Son. Bet she didn't see that one coming. Contrary to my expectations, though, Sophia Kawarazaki doesn't display any particular change in her demeanor. Guess there's a reason she's the top dog of this entire company, huh? She knows how to handle herself.
分かっている。宝行イリア。
何？
Sophia looks a startled Iria straight in the eye.
あなたの過去に関して我々には重大な過失がある。申し訳ありませんでした。
These company big shots tend to be full of pride, especially someone like Sophia, who's not just the single most influential energy elite, but also the most powerful person in the entirety of Japan. And yet, she's now bowing her head to Iria in a show of candid sincerity. Can't blame Iria for being thrown off her game.
私は当時責任者の立場にはなかった。とはいえ、これは私たち帝国エネルギー社の大きな過失だ。
What she's saying so far is the truth. But I'm not sure if you're telling us all the truth, Sophia. I still don't exactly trust you.
証拠隠滅を図ったのも不誠実な態度だった。時間はかかると思うが、外部から検証委員会を招き、しかるべきタイミングで公表、再発防止に努める。どうだろうか。
それはいいと思うけど。
その上であなたには協力を願いたい。
Sophia raises her voice a touch, signaling that she's reached the real meat of the matter. It's hard to believe someone of Sophia's position would be willing to grant all these concessions just to get Iria to cooperate. Is she really that vital to their plans?
進歩への努力をやめたとき、集団は衰退する。それは歴史が示す事実だ。
I mean, that's probably true, even though I'm not really that much of a history geek. I mean, it's sound logic.
人間とは常に前へと倒れ続けながら生きている。明日へと歩みを進めるため、君の力が必要なのだ。
Sophia once again bows her head in front of Iria.
人類のため、 東京都民のため、君の仲間のため、そして何よりあなた自身のため。頼む、宝行イリア、私たちに協力してくれ。
What can she do that she, is doing all this to make Iria cooperate, yeah? Left utterly speechless by everything that's just happened, I end up throwing a quick glance at Soen. He too is looking to me for an answer, but tough luck. Just what the hell have we gotten ourselves into?
どうしようもないわね。
Ryoko looks down and shakes her head.
イリアちゃんは大人よ。彼女がもしそれを選ぶなら、私たちはそれを尊重してあげなきゃ。
それはまあ理屈ですけど。
Tokitaka looks displeased at Ryoko's response. Sophia Korazaki is currently showing Iria around the core of the megafloat. Apparently, she's going to reveal top-secret information pertaining to the future of the Tokyo Rebirth Project. Thus, Iria's final decision will be based on her reaction to whatever secrets she's been made privy to.
ソウンもそれでいいのか？
彼女は正しい結論を出すよ。
もしイリアが帝国エネルギー社に協力するって言ったら、
僕はそれを尊重する。
くそ、ここにエチカがいれば。
True, if she were here, then she might get emotional and object to handing Iria over. But Ethica is walking around the megafloat with Major Aso. It would be unproductive for all of us to just sit around and wait for Iria to finish. Gathering information on the megafloat in the meantime is a rational course of action.
ソウン、お前こんな町にイリアを置いておくのか？
こんな町だと。
The door suddenly opens. In walks Yamanuma. Glaring at Tokitaka so fiercely, it's hard to believe he's been so collected up until now.
貴様、東京メガフロートをバカにしたが。
何か問題でも？正直、俺はこの町に何の美的センスも感じないね。そもそも住んでる人間の数さえ知らされていない。褒めよったって褒めようがないだろう。
True.
半径はおよそ3キロ、人口はぴったり5万人。我々が開発した新型スマートマテリアル、リブマテリアルを建築物やインフラに集中的に使用し、海水を循環させることでエネルギーと物資を賄う夢の都市だ。
3 kilometers, so it's not that big. I mean, for an artificial, place, it's definitely big. You can sort of call this like an artificial island, right?
リブマテリアルは不透細菌と海洋甲殻類に由来している生物素材のため低温に極めて強く、ナトリウムを水素にする過程で排出される熱による融雪機能もあるため体幹防護膜としても有効だ。
Yamanuma talks on and on, worked up by Tokitaka's comment.
特筆すべきはこの都市が自ら拡大するという点にある。リブマテリアルは海水中から必要な物質を回収し、自らを増殖させる。
It's too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true. There must be a downside to this material thing. I gaze down at the city through a window. The megafloat is more or less a large circle, but the outer circumference is distorted. Smaller individual circles float on the bay, almost like lotus flowers. The closer you get to the center, the larger the circles get, overlapping until they form solid ground. I suppose that's how Tokyo Megafloat expands its land, and therefore increases its living space.
回収部の骨組みは？
リブマテリアルは都市の土台であると同時に高強度かつ軽量な建築資材でもある。適切な電気刺激を与えることで我々は思うがままにこの都市を拡張していくことができる。我々はそのマテリアルがどのように都市へと固着するか指示するだけでよい。我々エネルギー貴族と呼ばれる人種は都市空間をデザインするのが仕事だ。
盆栽でもしてろってんだ。
He has a point. They do seem like similar concepts. I have never tried to research anything about bonsai, so that reference is over my head. The Tokyo Megafloat has a great number of humanoid operating machines, which seemingly handles all of the manual labor. When people are in want of nothing in life, it's not hard to imagine that they want to make life a hobby.
それでは聞くが、人を殺して生きる東京の生き方が褒められたものだと思っているのか?
I think it's not a fair comparison.
お前たちには無理だが、宝行イリアには東京メガフロートへの移住権が検討されている。東京よりここで暮らした方が幸せだろう。
I think to myself, Tokyo is a freezing cold city, rife with conflict, where death is ever present. Every day is a struggle for survival. Hogyo area doesn't belong in a place like that.
そうかもしれないな。イリアはここで暮らした方が。
そう。
Tokitaka interrupts.
お前はさっきから宝行イリアと目を合わせていない。俺の表情検知プログラムはお前が隠し事をしている確率が 94% と見込んでいる。
I don't think you need a program for that, Tokitaka. He's right. I have been avoiding Iria. If I had a choice, I would avoid talking with her entirely. I avert my eyes from Tokitaka, only for something to catch my attention. Off in the distance, I see a shore that looks just like one in Midnight Shores. Come to think of it, didn't I hear that the rooftop of the Ikebukuro Child Protection Center was based off of the view from the Tokyo Megafloat?
何から逃げてるんだ?
その答えを教えよう。
Yeah, he probably saw what happened. Yamanuma brings out the rotating needle torture device that he tried to use on me in the prisoner transport vehicle.
何をするつもりだ?
Tokitaka steps in front of me. Yamanuma answers calmly.
緊急事態につき検査は簡略化したが、ハイファイである可能性はまだ否定できない。私は目撃できなかったが、サット隊員のデータと証言を統合したところ、長岡総雲の胸はあの時レーザーで貫かれた可能性が強い。
That's a lot more fair than him actually seeing someone get shot, actually.
だから拷問を?
念のためだ。
Torture, the best way to distinguish humans from living dead. Temperature, heart rate, and color of blood can all be falsified with enough time and effort. But the raw human reaction to torture cannot be imitated. There are other characteristics of living dead, such as the inability to feel sexual attraction, but that one is harder to judge due to differences in personal preferences.
おい、そう、なんとか言ってやれ。
I softly shake my head at Tokitaka's words.
ね、そう、お前まさか。
Yamanuma approaches. I face him head on. I've got something to hide, but my heart rate won't go up. After all, I'm already dead. Emotions like fear and anxiety are slowly slipping away. But I know that if I'm exposed as a living dead, then I can't be with Iria anymore. I'm still afraid of that. Just barely. Yamanuma touches the needle against the tip of my finger. He slowly probes my finger, searching for the gap between the skin and nail. A foreign sensation brushes the nerves on my fingertip. A cold yet hot and slightly painful sensation. But the sensation's much more dull compared to when I was alive. Before long, the pointed end of the needle sinks in. Are they not gonna show, like, the needle injecting into the, you know, between the nail and the finger? That would be pretty gruesome, though. Kiri and I leave the waiting room together. We head downstairs in the flexible vein. Bubbles float up across the artificial membrane. It feels like I've become a fish.
それで緊急の用事とは?
Kiri whispers, perhaps a little wary of wiretaps.
デート。
I whisper back.
だからデート。あたしキリ姉と緊急にデートしたい。
I guess, Ethica might still be, like, you know, human, since she did rush towards Kiri, like, super fast when it happened, right? Basically, she's still showing, like, very human emotions. And when Son was dead, too, she was very angry. But we'll see. Might be another red herring. Kiri starts looking fed up and I start to panic. Yeah, I know this isn't really the best time. I'm more than a little curious as to what Iria's decision will be. But I'm sure Son and the others will back her up. So it's my job to look after Kiri in the meantime.
キリね、お疲れだったでしょ。今は気張ってもしょうがないし、ちょっと外の空気吸ってきたらと思って。
私、そんなに疲れて見える？
見える。
One thing I gotta praise Ethica for, though, is her tastes in women. I think I definitely like Kiri out of all the heroines so far that they've shown.
あるいは何か心配事があるか。
Kiri lets out a light sigh. She nearly got killed during Subcon's rampage, saw that video at Sue's place, saved us with the gunship, and now she's at the Tokyo Mega Float. Way too much has happened to her, way too fast.
やっぱりエチカちゃんには嘘がつけないな。よかったらちょっと付き合ってくれる？はーい、デートだ。違います。軍警察の代表としてメガフロートの視察。
それをエチカちゃん語ではデートというのさ。
The elevator arrives at the first floor. I take a deep breath once we get out of the artificial membrane.
変な乗り物。
フレキシブルベインは街中に張り巡らされてるから、乗ったままどこにでも移動できるはずよ。
I look over at the giant green tank in the center of the lobby. So the flexible veins are like Tokyo's hot pipes, and the green glowy ocean water is like Tokyo's steam. Come to think of it, there are a bunch of flexible vein exits all over the building, almost like public mailboxes. Kiri exits the main building and heads outside. I stand next to her on the curved terrace out front and take a look around the megafloat. The town of energy elites floating in the ocean. Even when viewed from the mainland, it's got a different vibe to it. It's hard to believe it's from the same world, let alone the same century. I suppose the only thing it has in common with the Tokyo is the lack of any conspicuous sense of order. There's no hot pipes, no crime-inviting darkness, and no vagrants indistinguishable from corpses. Everything's green. Everything's bright. The whole town's got the same aesthetic. As she looks down upon the city, her hair flowing in the wind, Kiri seems somehow fragile. Sophia's business with Iria is going to take a while. They gave us permission to walk freely around town in the meantime. I suppose the energy elites are confident in their security systems.
エチカちゃん、こっちだよ。
I hurry in Kiri's direction. We hop onto a conveyor belt. Empire Energy Corp's headquarters is at the center of the Tokyo Megafloat, with moving walkways extending from it in a geometric pattern. Combined with the general look of the city, the place seems like the very picture of the future. The moving walkway forms a gentle curve, with the EEC headquarters to its right.
こんなの使って移動してんのか。
半径 3km の都市内で一番効率のいい移動手段がこれ。
そうなんだ。で、ちょっと置いてかないで。
Before I know it, Kiri's gotten quite a bit ahead of me. It seems that the conveyor belts move at different speeds depending on the lane. The closer you get to the center, the faster it gets. Anyone in a rush is taking the center lane. It's moving at maybe 50 kilometers an hour? How the hell do you even, like, not get propelled forward with that much speed? The fuck? When you're standing up.
どっか目的地があるの？
適当。風が気持ちよくてね。
I mean, I guess it's not that fast, but 50 kilometers an hour is pretty damn fast.
キリネってさ、時々私より適当だよね。
That's as fast as I, how much I sprint when I go biking. Sometimes I go faster though. But usually when I sprint, that's like my average speed.
エチカちゃんは普段から細かい方だと思うけど。
No way. But in any case, I do agree that the wind feels nice. The air inside the artificial membrane of the Tokyo Megafloat is completely clean. It's a nice change from Tokyo's musty smell of mold and alcohol, not to mention the stench of rotting corpses. I wish I could just bask in this breeze forever. It's the middle of the night, and yet there are a lot of people out, just living it up. And I'm not talking about drunkards or anything. Everyone is bright and chipper, flush with life, not alcohol. Even though it's getting pretty late.
昼とか夜とか関係ないのかな？
限りある土地を有効に使うため、都市のあらゆる施設は24時間交代制で利用されているわ。リブマテリアルが自ら淡い緑の光を放って時間間隔を調整するし、人間の疲労に対応して適切な休養が提供される。東京メガフロートは昼夜の概念が存在しないのよ。
I see. So the energy elite are in control of everything, huh? Even nature itself. With a nod, we overtake a man and woman on the conveyor belt.
次は空中庭園を作ろうと思ってるんだ。
素敵。バビロンの衣装ね。それじゃあ私はアルテミス神殿風にしようかしら。
イオニア式だね。それもとても良さそうだ。
They definitely look stock up.
何の話？
東京メガフロートはリブマテリアルでできてるの。形が自由だからエネルギー貴族は思うがままに自分の居住空間をデザインできる。
へえ、高尚な趣味。
趣味って言葉で片付けるには厳しいみたい。労働のほとんどはヒューマノイドオペレーティングマシンが請け負ってる。人間が担うべき分野はほとんど残されていないわ。
So what do they do here?
新たな都市空間の創出から人間性を磨く。メガフロートに住む人間はより素晴らしい建築を作り上げることこそ自分たちの責務だと考えているみたいね。
They say that, but this life material thing hasn't been expanded towards Tokyo and outside of the Tokyo Megafloat. Or not Tokyo, Shinjuku.
それが人間が唯一できる人間らしい仕事ってこと？
もしかしたらそうかもね。この都市では最も素晴らしい建築を作り上げた人間が権力を握る。エチカちゃん、メガフロートでの貨幣制度ってどうなってるか知ってる？
全然。
いいね。
は？
Huh?
ソーシャルネットワーク上で建築の評価をいいねで投票するの。世の中に良い働きかけをしたら人の心をどれだけ動かしたかが数値で可視化される。
Dear God, if this is actually how the future is gonna be like, I feel like it's not gonna be good. Like, schools have been implementing social media into their, not really their curriculum, but a lot of events have been, like, starting to be posted on social media, and, like, with more likes, they would win the grand prize and shit like that. And I feel like that's actually, I don't know, not a very good implementation. I don't know though, like with how rapidly growing social media has become, I guess it makes sense that it would be the future. This game came out in 2016, by the way. While social media was still growing back then, it's still not as gigantic as it is now.
そのいいねが都市での行動のインセンティブとして働く。例えば次の建築を作るためにより大きな土地を手に入れられたり、帝国エネルギー社 CEO ソフィア河原崎はメガフロートで最も人の心を揺さぶることに成功した建築家っていうことね。とにかくポジティブフィードバックを作って世の中をいいものでいっぱいにしようってのがエネルギー貴族の思想なんだって。
I thought we already know what the energy elite is. A somewhat mocking term for the residents of the Tokyo megafloat, who rarely venture into the outside world. At the cuff there, sorry. Most of them are employed by the Empire Energy Corp, not considered citizens of Tokyo, and thus cannot vote or participate in its government. They are, however, afforded preferential treatment by the powers that be. Most energy elites live for the sole purpose of being appraised on social media for their architectural endeavors. Ridiculous.
やべえ、意識高すぎる。
A city where society dictates that you continually do good unto others. Everyone we pass by has the same cheerful look on their face. Everyone's full of hope for the future, as if they're the embodiments of love and peace, order and progress. There's no room for even the smallest sliver of negative emotions.
私には無理だな。
I muttered to myself. Same, Ethica?
だってさ、時々暴れたり、ぶっ壊したりしたくなるもん。
I don't do that, but sometimes I do drink to get drunk.
善意も悪意も、そしてもちろんどっちでもないのんべんだらりとした感情もみんな合わせて人間じゃん。
True enough, I do agree with that.
嫌いって気持ちも
Yes, in fact, I do agree with that too. That includes feelings of hatred.
もちろん。
それじゃあ好きって気持ちは
It suddenly feels like there's a vice around my heart.
ハスのウテナの半座を分かつ。私のお母さんが好きだった言葉。
Kiri speaks slowly and deliberately.
もしかしたらメッセージなのかなって思った。
メッセージ？
私のお母さんは鉾安さんが好きだったんだと思う。
Well, after Kiri's mom died, the old man was the one to take Kiri in, so the two of them must have had a close relationship. So I can't deny that possibility. But Kiri and I aren't related by blood. There's no doubt about that. I've checked our DNA tests. Can't it be fabricated though? If we were sisters, no. It's because we're not sisters that I can tell her my feelings. Not right now, but someday.
お父さんがいるってすごい羨ましいの。
I'm taken aback when Kiri brings up the word father unprompted. Kiri's mom was a single mother. Kiri had always kept her distance in regard to the topic of my relationship with my old man. I'd always assumed it was due to her not having a father herself. This isn't exactly an easy topic to discuss, but Kiri keeps going as if it's nothing.
私ね、普通の人よりも発育が良くて、勉強も運動もよくできたでしょ。だから軍警察で遺伝子検査を受けたの。
Kiri was a precocious child, skipping several grades in school. A prodigy, so to speak. Her rank as a major is the result of her many accomplishments in life. But she also has something of a complex about this, since she doesn't know her father. She's never said it in so many words, but I can tell at least that much.
結果、私の遺伝子は何らかの操作が加えられている可能性が高いって。
Okay.
デザイナーズチャイルド？
もしかしたらそうかもしれない。あるいは私がデザイナーズチャイルドの子供で、その遺伝子を色濃く受け継いでいるってこともあるかも。
So your mom is the designer baby. Genetic modification is a luxury very few in Tokyo can afford. and most of them live here in the Tokyo Megafloat. If we consider what Kiri's mom was doing around 9 months before Kiri was born, it would make a lot of sense if Kiri's father was an energy elite. But who is it? If it was...
もしかしてそれがいつもと違う理由？
もしかしたらそうかもね。
The general public rarely gets inside the Tokyo Megafloat, and information rarely gets out. Kiri seems awfully knowledgeable about this place. She's probably tried looking into her father. But she said earlier she didn't have any particular destination in mind, which I guess means she hasn't figured out his whereabouts.
エチカちゃん、矛安さん、やっぱり嫌い？
多分嫌いだと思う。
多分？
うん。最近親父とあんまり会ってないから。
そっか。意外。
だってさ、用がないのに顔なんて見たくないよ。
そうじゃなくて、エチカちゃんだから当然大嫌いって言うのかと思ってた。
She sounds so legitimately confused, I can't help but reflect on it myself. Yeah, that is what someone would expect me to say, isn't it? I've gone soft, haven't I?
キリ姉が軍警察に入ったのって、やっぱり親父に恩があるから？
恩っていうより、東京の街を守ろうとする矛安さんの気持ちを間近で見たからっていうのが大きいかも。
親父に気持ちなんてないでしょ。
あるよ、すごくある。目標のためにそれをじっと押し殺してるだけ。
Really now? I can't see my old man having such noble intentions.
そういう矛安さんの姿を見てるとちょっと共感しちゃうんだよね。
ってことはキリ姉もなんか我慢してることあるの？そういうのやめた方がいいよ。体に毒。
Kiri laughs weakly. It's not like her.
でもやっぱりお母さんのこと気にしてるのかな。ずっと言われてたんだよね。矛安さんは呪いを背負ってるって。だからあの人が本当の気持ちを言えるようにそばにいてあげるんだって。
I don't know about that. I think it's just an excuse, really.
呪いね。
I think to myself, if anyone is cursed, it's Kiri.
ねえキリ姉、お母さんに会いたい？
Kiri thinks for a second before answering.
わかんない。お母さんはすごくまっすぐな人だったから会うのがちょっと恥ずかしいかも。
キリ姉はまっすぐだよ。
だといいな。
Before I can understand the meaning behind Kiri's pained smile, we turn around in panic at the reverberating roar. At the top floor of the Empire Energy Corp headquarters, where we just were, a large portion of the wall has crumbled, with smoke billowing out from the cracks. Is it Milgram? The green light alone illuminates the spiral staircase. It curves downward, ever downward, towards the heart of the Tokyo Megafloat. At the end of the staircase is what Sophia calls the foundation of the Tokyo Rebirth Project, something that only a select few people know the full outline of. Seeking that knowledge, Iria advances step by step. As she walks further into the depths of the Megafloat, the green light exuding from the walls gets brighter and brighter. The surface of the life material walls begins to glow more elastic. The green lights begin to pulsate in a steady rhythm.
血管みたい。
その通り。
Sophia nods in agreement with Iria's assessment.
フレキシブルベインは血管だ。 外部は硬化して殻のように硬いが、内部はこのように柔らかく新陳代謝を行っている。ところで、サブスタンスコンセプトは来ているか？
Sophia turns her gaze to Iria's fingertips.
トーングラフが居場所を示すのだろう。
Iria regained her memory when she fainted during Subcon's rampage. Her relationship with Subcon, the time they first met, the meaning of her tone graph, the reason why its light grows more intense. Eventually, the staircase ends. Iria follows Sophia into the underground core of the Tokyo Megafloat. Iria recognizes the sight before her. The highway, a special command that allows one to view an index of all the data scattered about Tokyo's mesh network. A world beyond the 5 human senses that normal humans can only access using synesthesia. Its image is projected onto the surface of the walls. In the center of the room floats a holographic sphere. More dots than stars in the sky, with rainbow lines connecting dot to dot, seemingly at random, but in a definite recursive pattern. It's a gigantic tone graph. Projected in the center is a schematic diagram of Tokyo.
トーングラフは東京のメッシュネットワーク上を行き交う情報を色で分類し図式化したもの。それぞれの線を生み出すノードは相互に作用し合う。喜びが喜びを生み、悲しみが悲しみを生み、虹色の複雑なネットワークを張り巡らせる。サブスタンスコンセプトはそのネットワーク上に生み出された意識、すなわちトーングラフはサブスタンスコンセプトの脳活動を追った fMRI。
fMRI? The fuck? Sophia's words are filled with conviction. Iria has no intention of trying to deny them.
それでどうして私をここに呼び出したの？
サブスタンスコンセプトの意識の核を呼び寄せたい。東京メガフロート、生命都市を生命として完成させたい。
The fuck? So basically, Subcon is, you know, kind of like mementos in Persona. Sophia said that the flexible veins were blood vessels. This is a living, growing town, made of self-propagating life material cells.
我々の目指す生命には意識が必要だ。東京という都市のネットワーク上に目覚めた無意識の知能をこの場所に呼び寄せることで、メガフロートをサブスタンスコンセプトの身体と認識させたい。東京リバースプロジェクトを成功させるために、どうしても君の協力が必要なのだ。人類の秩序と進歩のために力を貸してくれ。
Sophia implores, her expression nigh rapturous. None of this quite clicks for Iria. Order and progress? The Tokyo Rebirth Project? This is all beyond her ken. But intuitively, Iria can tell that Sophia genuinely wants to improve the world. She specializes in emotion, not reason.
条件があるよ。サブコンはまだいいこととか悪いこととかわかんないの。子供みたいなものかな。だから自分の力の限界も知らずに極端なことをしちゃう。
So the fact that Subcon did the blackout thing was actually a way for her to convey the password for the papyrus that we got from Kiri. That's a very roundabout way of doing it, but I guess that makes sense.
先ほどの暴走のように。
Iria nods. Subcon's concerts spread chaos throughout the city, but all she was trying to do was locate Iria. When Iria first put on her conry, it was Subcon who told her the bank account number. It was Subcon who led her to the hidden room at the Ikebukuro Child Protection Center as well. Perhaps she even helped Iria escape from the fortress. Subcon wants nothing more than to see Iria again. And Iria too wishes to see Subcon again. The core of the mega float is an ideal setting for a reunion.
だから約束して。サブコンが嫌なことは絶対しないって。
約束しよう。
Sophia agrees without hesitation. She means what she says. Iria trusts her instincts. She understands the full extent of her enhanced empathy. That ability is what allowed her to communicate effectively with Subcon, whose emotions are hard to grasp for a normal human. And perhaps that ability is also to thank for how she's able to get someone like Soen to open up to her. Okay.
それじゃ行くよ。
Iria turns to face the center of the highway diagram. She holds out her hand and performs multi-flick gestures faster than the speed of thought. That's enough to send her consciousness on a drive. She can read the flow of the mesh network, something that cannot be perceived by the 5 human senses. Normally, synesthesia is required to access the high-speed flow of the highway. But Iria was taught in the past how to connect using only her enhanced empathy. Who taught her, though? Her thoughts drift, and the rapid current of the highway threatens to sweep her consciousness away. She puts the question from her mind and focuses on driving. Iria synchronizes her consciousness with the information exchange on the network. Her sense of self diffuses into the threads of the web. Hot, spicy, itchy, heavy, bright. Myriad sensations flow by at high speed, rendered in the third dimension as rays of light. You know, I was kind of wondering how the hell, like Khonsu was able to access the highway. But I guess the mesh network is like they said, like it's something that transcends the internet. It's not something like the internet, it's like a physical manifestation of the internet, right? So I guess that's the highway. I was actually misunderstanding it this whole time. The life material at the center of the Tokyo Megafloat interprets the ceaseless flow of information as a virtual space. Sophia lacks enhanced empathy, and she has not made use of synesthesia. She cannot decipher the meaning of these colors. But that's fortunate for her. Without proper training, exposing yourself to these vast amounts of information, far surpassing the limits of the human brain, would cause your sense of self to be swept away. I guess this is some kind of like, what is it? Astral projection or something? I think I've briefly read something about that. Dive too deep and your consciousness fades into the mesh network, unable to reconvene. Iria has lost many friends this way. She is careful to shield her consciousness from the violent deluge of information as she sets out about constructing a virtual environment. She picks out blocks from the stream of index information and piles them up one by one. And thus, order is born from the random chaos that is the rapids of information flow. Constructing a simulacrum? Simulacrum? That's a very difficult word that I don't know the meaning of the physical world is the safest and most reliable way to interface with the highway for long periods of time. Create a space, shape it, color it, and with the flow of time, eventually... An ebony sea manifests itself, its foaming waves glowing a dull green. Simply listening to the sound of the wind and waves here is enough to set one's heart at ease.
浜辺の風景か。よく似た場所がメガフロートにもある。
うん。池袋 CPC を真似たから。
The Ikebukuro Child Protection Center was funded by Empire Energy Corp, and so its roof was modeled after the shore of the Tokyo Megafloat. Iria had always wanted to escape from the building and see the real midnight shores. To her, it was more than just an idle desire. The prospect of seeing that faraway beach was what sustained her, what gave her hope for the future.
なぜここ？
私たちが初めて出会った場所なの。多分、今日も。
Sophia gasps when a figure suddenly appears. Iria quietly turns to the figure with a smile on her face. Wow, she's actually 3D. Substance concept. The mysterious diva holding guerrilla gigs throughout the streets of Tokyo. A rainbow-colored figure floats above the ebony waves, bathing in the twinkling starlight.
サブコンも私を呼んでくれたよね。
Her voice is also the thing that plays when we save our game, by the way.
ありがとう。会えて嬉しい。
はじめまして。
Sophia steps forward, interrupting their conversation.
私はソフィア・カワルザキという帝国エネルギー社 CEO だ。今日は折り入って君に話がある。
Subcon looks at Sophia with expressionless eyes. It's not that she's ignoring her or showing any ill will. It's simply that she cannot comprehend any human existence besides Iria. Only Iria's enhanced empathy can bridge the gap between humans and Subcon.
サブコン、ソフィアの言葉がわかる？彼女は君に助けてもらいたいことがあるって。助ける？うん。彼女は今とても困ってて、だから君が協力してくれると嬉しいんだけど。嬉しい。私が助けるとイリアが嬉しい。そうだな。
Subcon still doesn't know any humans besides Iria. She has yet to even grasp the concept of what humans are. She is still learning what role emotions play in interhuman interactions.
サブコンが助けてくれると友達が嬉しく思う。友達が嬉しいと私も嬉しい。私が嬉しいとサブコンも嬉しいかな。
The fluctuations in Subcon's emotional state are too subtle for normal humans to perceive. It's only thanks to her intense empathy that Iria can detect them.
だから
Iria's words are interrupted by the roar of an explosion. Is that Ryoko? Yeah, that's Ryoko, isn't it? And with that, I am actually going to end the episode right here. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what the hell Ryoko is gonna do. Ryoko said she wants to kill Milgram, and I don't think Milgram is right here in Tokyo Mega Float right now. But then again, this might not be Ryoko, I'm not sure. We will find out on the next episode. For you guys on YouTube, I apologize for this. This is a super heavy cliffhanger. But it won't be a cliffhanger if you guys pledge to the Patreon. And back to the usual, you know, shilling. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this video a like if you guys liked it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access. And there's no H scene, surprisingly, for the last couple of episodes. So yeah, early access is what you'd want for this playthrough. And with that, I'll be taking a short break, and we will be briefly coming back to this once I'm done with my break. So I will see you guys next time.